Hi there, I'm going to take you through what happened with my EGR having to be blanked off and what performance I got on the Alfa Giulietta when it was blanked off in my 1.6 diesel. So what happened was I was at McDonald's and I just got to McDonald's and just got out and basically started to drive the car out of McDonald's, and the first thing that kind of happened was the start stop said start stop not working, and the car just was like being rough, and it was a real like jumping and rough. So I just parked up at the side of the road and stopped and decided that I'd phone the AA. So then basically what the AA came and did was they came round to the car, and he tried to get it going, plugged in his computer, and he found out that the EGR valve was stuck open. It probably got lots of soot build up and things like that, and that had just meant that the air couldn't get through, and then it was basically just having a complete rough ride. He basically tried to get it going by revving it and stuff, but it didn't make much difference at all. So what he ended up doing was he ended up going and blanking off the EGR, and I will show you what he did and where he put it in, and then I'll take you through the messages that I got, you know, after this engine management light came on. So what he did was, if we come round, was he went into the back here, and as you see here, there is the steam pipe, which is this pipe here, and the EGR is this black bit where this is plugged in here on this clip, and you can see this bit here. It's really inaccessible, and that's where the EGR is. It's that bit there. And so what he decided to do was, the AA guy, when it was pitch black, was this is one end of the steam pipe, which I discovered later that that's what it's called, and it goes in down here at this other bit here. And what he did to get my car going was he kind of got a piece like this. I've just painted it, and it was a sort of blanking plate, a bit of metal, and he basically came in and took it and put this bit in the bottom, you know, like in that bit there. He just loosened those two screws at the bottom, pulled it out slightly, and then fitted that in the way to blank off that pipe. So that's what he did, and then I managed to drive it to the garage, and to be honest, performance of the car was okay at that stage, and I drove it there, and it drove for another 400 miles, and I never, well, maybe not, about 100, 200 miles, and I never really noticed much difference. But then basically I then was going up to Scotland, did about 200 miles, and then it started smoking as it went up a hill. You know, you could see the soot coming out the back. It was really chugging, and it made a lot of noise. But it got over that, and it was, you know, so it was always there. But then it basically had gone into limp mode. So what I realised was that the car was in limp mode. You didn't have as much acceleration, anything like that. And I continued my journey for the rest of it. I switched off the car, and then it went back in and worked again in the full mode. But then basically over the next month or two, through November into December into January and February, it was just in a permanent limp mode. So when I took it back after my trip up, my 800 miles up the road, I came back and tried to see what faults there were. So this is the list of faults that the car had, having driven it for 1,000 miles once it had gone into that limp mode. It had the cruise control module signal invalid data. Basically, it just couldn't keep the speed that it was trying to do. If I put it on, it was on a hill, it just couldn't cope. There's the three of them there about the EGR valve being open and the position sensor. That's all to do because what I didn't show you on the thing is he unclipped that clip as well, and that's how he blanked it off. And then the lambda sensor was getting the wrong readings now because the pipe's blanked off. Turbo pressure had gone as well a little bit, and then we got the particular filters which were getting sooty. Hence, when you looked at the back of my car, it got quite sooty, and occasionally you would have the situation where, you know, it obscured your vision slightly on the you know, the windscreen. I won't put that down, but basically I did end up, when it was a bit dark, reversing into the wife's car, which didn't go down well. So that was a bit disappointing. So partially, I suppose, to do with the lack of, the vision just wasn't as good, and also it was dark. I was just unlucky. But so basically I got that, and then I've sat with a van, you know, behind. Sometimes it would, and there'd be too much soot coming in. You know, the van behind wasn't very impressed. So that's where I got to. I'd looked at the videos online about taking the EGR out, and that is what I wanted to try and do. I waited till warmer weather, and then basically I'll show you how I had a go, and what I tried, and then basically we will do it. So I did attempt to fix it.